Hi, I'm Gabriel De Silva, and I'm busy with my Masters in Mechatronic Engineering at Stellenbosch University here in South Africa. And a big part of my thesis is actually involving virtual reality. And I'm not going to lie, when I started my engineering degree 5 years ago, I didn't think at this point that I'd actually be working with virtual reality, something that seemed so foreign and something that was just, I had no idea about it. At the start of this year, I kind of knew more or less what it was. I knew that you chucked on a bunch of goggles or whatever and that you could move around in a virtual environment, but that was pretty much it. At the start of my thesis, I actually had no idea what to do or how to even get anything into virtual reality. So I did what any logical person would do, and I went straight to YouTube. I'm not about this whole having to read through articles and all that kind of stuff. I prefer just someone right out tells me how to do it. And I actually came across this YouTube video by Valum where it's a tutorial on how to set up the basics of virtual reality using Unity. In the past, I've worked a bit with Unity, but nothing really stuck. I followed 1 or 2 tutorials and then nothing happened. I think 2 months after that, I would go back and look and be like, I have actually zero idea how to do this. I followed one tutorial where it takes you on this whole course of how to make a game, and at the end of it you're supposed to have this game that you can play around with, and I realized I actually don't know how to do any of it. I followed the guy exactly, followed where he clicked, what he did, and at the end I realized I didn't learn anything. And then a couple months passed by, I was busy with my masters, my thesis, all this stuff, following the virtual reality tutorials. And actually at the end of those virtual reality tutorials, I did something pretty cool. I actually made a virtual reality environment and an application that's quite useful for my master's thesis. I learned how to teleport in the virtual reality environment. I could move around, I could walk around the virtual reality environment. I was able to actually put in one of the 3D models of a building at our university and walk through that a little bit, and that sparked the passion for game development again. And then I came across this video by Game Maker's Toolkit. The title of the video was How I Learned Unity Without Any Tutorials. And obviously that sticks out to you and you're like, yes, I want to do that. I don't want to go through the whole schlep of having to watch the tutorials, do all this stuff. In the video, he actually explains how he went about it. And he explained that starting off with something new, it doesn't help to follow a tutorial exactly, because that person is just showing you how to press a few buttons, and at the end of it, you don't learn anything. So what he suggested was you find a few core principles or core concepts and you get those, figure out how to do those and practice those. One of those could be how you have a character appear on screen, or how you actually move characters around. And I thought, okay, that's an interesting way of doing it. Let me try to do that. And that's where this YouTube channel comes with. I've got 2 reasons for starting this channel. The one is that it's going to help me track my master's progress and actually see how far I come and exactly what I did. And then the second aspect of it, or the second reason for starting the YouTube channel, is that I haven't seen a YouTube video where they show you the process of getting to there, of going from having almost zero game development knowledge to a point where you can actually make a game. And that's what I want to do with this YouTube channel. I want to take you guys along on the process of me having almost zero experience in game development. And when I say zero, I literally mean, I think I made a thing fly up and down, and that was about it. To a point where hopefully at the end, I'll actually be able to make my own game. So I'm really excited for this because I'm keen to show the process every week, something new that's learned, every month, some bigger concept that's learned. And I just find so much value in showing that to you guys, showing you, okay, this is where I started, this is what I wanted to do, all that kind of stuff. This is where I ended, these are the struggles I had throughout the week or whenever I was learning it. And I just feel like people can relate so much to that, because I know when I started the brief week of learning I did, I knew nothing. I didn't know where to start. I watched a couple of tutorials, how to do the basics, and at the end I was like, oh, I can actually do something. So after I learned some of the basics, I was like, you know what, I know the basics, let me do something. I took inspiration from a game on Google where if you don't have internet, the little T-Rex pops up and you press the space bar and then it jumps over things and it ducks and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what, that's a pretty simple one. Let me figure out how to actually do that. Let me get the basics of it. And I went on this whole journey of figuring out how to make a thing jump and how to make it duck and how to scale it down and all that stuff. And that took a week to learn. And it was really cool. And I went on this thing of almost knowing nothing, or actually not knowing anything, to having something to show my friends at the end. Yeah, I find this is so much more useful for me to actually remember what I'm learning and actually just do it, instead of just following some guy click some buttons around. So that's where I'm at the moment. I have started looking at Unity again. I have made my own game, very proud of my own game, and I'm really excited for what's going to come. I'm looking forward to taking you guys on this journey with me on how to actually get to the point where you can make your own game. And I'm sure a lot of you are in the same spot where you just want to watch all the tutorials and get all the knowledge, but it doesn't exactly work like that. You have to put in the effort. And I'm really excited to also show you my master's progress, because I find that extremely cool. And I've already seen in the small 2-3 weeks that I've been looking at Unity and game development, I've seen, I actually feel a lot more confident in my master's work, where now I have an idea of, okay, if I get stuck, I can just do that. I can look on the forums, or I can look at the documentation, and I can figure out how to do things on my own. There's no tutorial on my master's work, so I'm going to have to figure out things on my own. And I'm excited for that. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Gabriel De Silva, and I'm really excited for what's going to come.